You know it's super fly when Day Bar is opened. Hip-hop review, news, plus breaking new artists, pop culture, current events with an urban view of it. This is all things hip-hop, delivered raw, unpolitically correct, the fans' perspective, putting all artists in check. Dope content, current hot by remarkable men. Our thoughts, clearly. Welcome to Audio Theory.
Yo, welcome back to the Audio Theory podcast. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button as well as the like button. What's good, Danny? How have you been?
What's good, bro? I've been good, man. Fucking exhausted. So today was the beginning of going back to the office for us. So we, my division agreed to twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, bro. But because today was like the first day in the office, like obviously when you're like a manager, like you're responsible for everything. So I was IT. I had to make sure people's fucking computers were set up correctly. I had to get them breakfast so they felt welcome. Bro, I went to the gym in the morning because I knew we were working out. We were doing the episode tonight. So dude, I've been up since 5:45 in the morning. Bro, shit. Fucking dying right now, dog.
Oh, I bet.
Dying, dog. So, but it was cool. It was great to be in the office, man. Like before we were there, we were like kind of like socially distanced. Like now it's like, bro, like if you're gonna come, back to normal, which is dope because like if you actually want to sit with like your team, it's good to actually like be able to like, vibe with everyone as opposed to like, yo, what's good? You know what I mean? Like, because that was a weird experience. Like, yeah, you're there, but dude, you're also fucking 20 feet away from me. You might as well just be at home.
Sure.
But yeah, man, I've been good. Besides that, like the weekend was dope. I think I'm already on the other side of like fully recovered from like these exhausting weekends. Because in the past, I'm like, bro, don't hit me up for shit. I don't want no one to come over, vice versa. And then, dude, this Saturday night, I was like, damn, bro, I'm really bored as fuck. I really want to go out right now. You know what I mean? Like I know you were having a lit time in Mexico. I had my family going crazy in New York. I was like, damn, bro, I'm just fucking here at home doing nothing. But it's all good. I'm going to New York this weekend, so I'm sure that's going to be lit.
Dope.
But how about you, bro? How's work been, and how was the mini bachelor fiesta in Mexico?
Yeah, work has been good. Honestly, like same old same. I'm pretty much like fully ramped up. There's not really like trainings and all the like preliminary stuff that you have to deal with. So I'm like, I feel like I'm finally settled in, which is nice. Everyone's super nice as well. I did actually find out that my coworker, so she wasn't on, she like just stopped using her webcam every time we chatted. Okay. And I was just like, this is weird. Maybe this is some like kind of mental health break thing where you don't want to always be on or some shit. I don't know. I didn't want to ask though because it's not my business, and I understand. Sometimes I'm not in the mood to be on camera either, except for this shit.
Bro, I wish I had an option to not be on camera. That'd be fucking amazing.
Yeah. But she's like, yeah, I got this rare ass disease, and I immediately knew what it was because the first time I heard about it was from the vaccines, Bell's palsy, I want to say it's called.
Okay.
And it's where like fucking half of your face gets paralyzed.
But temporarily though, right?
Temporarily.
Yeah.
So it's not like the end of the world, but I mean, you just look wild.
She got it because of the vaccine?
No, she had the vaccine, but she doesn't, like, there's no way to really prove it. Granted, like it's one of the it's like every other fucking side effect, like 4 people out of like 80,000 get it. But and it's because like their body just reacts crazy to like it's not strong enough for some shit. So that was the only reason she hadn't turned on her webcam, was because like she said she looks kind of creepy. She accidentally turned the shit on and I saw her face. It looked normal, but I guess when you talk, like you look like Two-Face.
Like, and like she knows, you know what I mean? Like she's like, yo, I don't feel like myself. That sucks. Yeah.
So that was kind of like a wild and sad thing to hear at the same time, but at least it's temporary. Another kind of wild event that took place while I was still in LA, and my girl came back to SF. There was a fucking homicide at the intersection of my apartment building.
Get the fuck out of here.
Someone straight up shot another dude multiple times. Still not entirely sure why. Obviously, there's an investigation, but
does it look like a planned hit or like a fucking like, hey, the next guy who crosses the street is getting fucking shot?
Get this shit too. It happened at 10 in the morning.
Wow.
Like someone must have been, I don't know, fucking didn't get pickles on their burger or some shit. I don't know what took place. But
oh my God, dude.
it turns out the guy who got shot and killed, God rest his soul, was apparently well known in the community. And for those who don't know, it's really weird how SF operates, but like we live in a area that is kind of crime ridden, but at the same time has like nice apartment buildings and like hip spots.
So it's in the process of being gentrified.
Yeah,
and
yeah. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's being gentrified, and for that reason, there's a lot of wild shit going on, even if you have absolutely nothing to do with it. So I don't know what took place. This guy was well known in the community. Maybe
the guy who got killed.
Yeah, like I think he might have been one of the. I think he was told to have been involved in like job training or something. So I wonder if it was a situation where someone he had been working with or whatever, like just had a bad situation, altercation, and things just went south, especially that early in the morning, which is wild to me.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. I feel like it has to be predetermined because, like, dude, you know what I mean? Like, no one just rolls up on a dude at 10 a.m. in a decent neighborhood and just fucking enter life. You would think so, right? Like, at least, I mean, either way, it's fucked, but it doesn't change anything. But still, it's fucking awful.
And I joined a police like Zoom call, specifically the station in my area, and he basically was like, "Yo, we're gonna increase patrols in this area, but like when we're on one block, these motherfuckers move to the next block where we aren't, and they can't really do anything unless there's an obvious like crime taking place.
You can't just because you can't just start fucking shaking down people like, oh, you look like a hoodlum, and then it's like the worst racial thing in the world. Yeah, exactly.
So he's like, we only have so many police. Violent crime is obviously their priority, and something made the news today in SF. This dude literally went to a Walgreens, had a trash bag, and fucking filled it with like everything he could possibly find in his vicinity, and no one did anything really. I'm sure the cops might look at the footage down the road, but like that's not even a priority for them because motherfuckers are out here shooting people and stabbing people.
Dude, you know what's the wild shit? Like, my boy went bowling last weekend, and he was like, bro, I was low-key kind of scared of going bowling. I'm like, bro, why? Like, I mean, like the bowling alley is in a dope spot. And he was like, bro, so I guess like last week, some guy was on his Facebook account, like just saying, I'm in the mood to kill someone today. And dude, legit, like an hour later, he just like pulled up into some like strip mall and just started shooting. Because he was like, bro, I just needed to kill someone today. And then he ended up killing himself like right after. But like, bro, that's wild. Like, yo, that's like an actual thing people need to be fucking afraid of, bro. Like, I know you don't try to bring that shit on yourself, so you try to just assume like, yo, if I move correctly, you know, positive, blah, blah, blah. But damn, bro, that's fucking terrifying. You can't even just go out and enjoy. And imagine if you were walking to work that morning or some shit, or just going and fucking, you were fucking exhausted and you needed coffee, so you went to fucking Starbucks and you just fucking walked by a fucking shooting. Like,
right.
Wild.
Especially because it's like suppose this event was some deep rooted friendship gone south or some shit. Like, even so, I'm like, I could get hit with a stray bullet, like, and I'm not even fucking like next to him. That's the other thing, is even if they do find through this investigation there was like a motive, like this dude, I don't know, was speaking to the other guy's wife or some shit, like I could still get hit in the crossfire. And that wasn't even the only shooting within like a 2-mile radius. There was like 5 in a week.
Damn.
And all hours of the day. It wasn't like, oh, this is 4 a.m. when like I shouldn't be out anyways. It's 10 a.m. It's 3 p.m. It's midnight. Like, you just, not at that point, you're like, fuck, should I even leave my fucking house at all?
Right. You don't want to be a prisoner in your own home. And then you're like, bro, I don't fucking like, sure, like I knew the neighborhood I was moving into, but yo, you also know you don't pay like cheap rent. You know what I mean? You're thinking like, yo, for the rent I'm paying, I shouldn't have these fucking worries. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, that too. And I feel kind of like snobby even like thinking that way. Like,
but it's a fact, bro. That's why people pay more money. Like, yo, if I pay this amount in rent or mortgage, I'm assuming it's because I'm living in the fucking good area. I mean, good area doesn't mean anything to do with race. I'm just
Right.
saying good area. Like I don't have to worry about
Yeah.
crime. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah. Like I
Crime
earn
or
this money.
drugs
And
being ridden all over my fucking property. Like, yeah, fuck that.
And at first I was like almost like fine with like the drug dealers loitering around. I'm like, oh, these dudes are just playing music, selling weed here and there. I'm like, I wasn't that type of like neighbor to be like, oh, let me call the cops on them. But it's when like shootings and stabbings and shit start happening, like I'm not trying to be around that at all.
At all, dude. Yeah, like, think about like, yo, like just the especially when you live like in a fun city, and that's what SF is, right? And like stuff to do is literally all around you. Like now you need to think 3 or 4 times before like, damn, dude, is it worth walking there? Or should I just call like Uber Eats for to get over here, right? And like the country's opening up, like, dude, you don't want to be a prisoner in your house now for things not related to a pandemic, you know? So that sucks, dude.
Yeah. So that was wild. Also, Mexico was super wild. I'm still exhausted from that shit. I came back home last night from LA. So we didn't drive far into Mexico or fly. It's pretty close. Like you could cross the border from San Diego, obviously, and do a day trip. Very common, like California thing. And figured I would do it since I don't know the next time I'll be able to easily like go to California and or not California, but LA Mexico, and travel and shit. So did that with a couple friends and blew their minds.
Really?
We get into that the details after the fact, but yeah, it was a crazy 36 hours.
That's no sleep, right?
No, barely, like 5 the whole fucking trip.
Because those trips are the ones that like they're short, but like everyone rallies, and it's like the moment we wake up, we're drinking, and if we're not drinking, we're going out, and when we get there, we're drinking. You know what I mean? It's just like
it was crazy. Yeah, I fell asleep. Like we had a shuttle take us around to the bars, and I just saw the footage of me taking shots at this like beach bar, and I was like, damn, I drink that much.
Dude,
but it was like no, go.
That's the best. You're like, well, the best and the most terrifying when you look back at like footage, you're like, that was me? Like, when did that happen?
And I didn't even black out. That was the thing. It wasn't like, oh my God, like I did that. It was more so like I just lost count of like how many drinks I had. I thought I had like 4, but I had 14.
Where you were at in Mexico, was it like super packed though, or like kind of chill?
No, it was actually pretty chill. It wasn't crazy packed, thankfully. I think that's why I wanted to go too during this time, to get that out of the way, because I know they have a fucking crazy ass reggaeton festival in the same area, Rosarito. I think Bad Bunny, J Balvin, like everybody's gonna be there.
Oh wow.
I don't know if I would necessarily want to go, because I'm sure that'll be out of control, but but it sounds like it's gonna be a good time.
Nice. Well, I'm glad the trip went well. Everyone you left with came back safely.
Yep, came back safely.
There you go. I'll tell you, it's when you went there, came back safe, had fun. All good. But let's get into it, man. Episode 77. Bit of a slow news week, but again, Audio Theory will always make it happen weekly for you guys. I guess the biggest thing out of last week was something we posted on the gram recently. Culture 3. We were talking about how Migos had to come through. Specifically, Quavo really needed this to kind of revive his career, because it feels kind of stagnant, even though we know he's a superstar. Everyone kind of hits a plateau at times. So your thoughts on Culture 3?
I actually really, really enjoyed it. Not every single song, obviously, but I thought they delivered more than Culture 2. I think Jay-Z even praised it.
Which is dope.
Several songs, which is dope. The Justin Bieber feature, the Drake feature, and there was like a couple other songs that like really stood out to me, and I just thought they just did kind of like what they were supposed to do and what I expected. Kind of like how we talked about Post Malone, like he knows what works, and 9 times out of 10 he just keeps delivering that. And I feel like they finally continue to do it this time with a lot of those songs. And it also kind of solidified that I really do think Offset is probably the best
100%.
Migo.
100%.
I guess, like, you know, when he was kind of like in jail and like got out and like did a couple things here and there, like at that point I wasn't really, Quavo was like in the spotlight, and then over time I was like, oh, Offset is clearly like hands down a standout character in the group.
Yeah, dude, side note. So I realized, I think we played the video when we were like relaxing at my place, but I realized he was the standout when he dropped his solo album, I think Father of Four. But bro, just like when he performed like a lot of those songs, like Clout, like on stage, like yo, just the confidence he was like exuding, like you're like, bro, this guy knows he's a star and like just kind of does this Migos thing because he wants to do it with his boys kind of thing, you know, because he can clearly be like a solo artist by himself and be very successful, right? So especially when we said like, you know, his features are fucking, you know, second to none right now. But yeah, I totally agree. I thought it was a really good album. I wouldn't say great, but really good. I played it back a couple times. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I agree with you. The Bieber and Drake are standout tracks for sure. I love that they had a Juice WRLD hook that we've never heard before. So that was dope. Kind of keep that legacy going on. Bro, and actually I think Quavo like not only delivered, but really like stepped up his lyrics because there was a couple lyrics that he dropped. And I was like, God damn, this motherfucker chose violence, bro. So the song with Drake that he says about the Bentley from Sweetie, like she had her way and she chose, and now she had her Bentley repo. Like that was funny. But I kind of saw that one on social beforehand, so I was like, whatever. Like I already kind of was looking for it. But I think there's the song called Spot or something like In the Spot or something like that. And he has a line that's like, I fucked your bitch in your spot. And then the ad lib's like, why not? And I was like, yo.
It's always those like just super casual ass nonchalant ad libs.
Yo, I didn't know. Sorry, the song is Why Not, right? That's what the ad lib was, Why Not. Yeah, it was like, I fucked your bitch in your spot. And the ad lib's like, why not? I was like, bro, that is fucking aggressive, dog.
Right. Yeah.
So I was impressed by him because he came through with like, I feel like he's always the hook guy, right? And again, people like Nate Dogg made a career out of that, right? Like people know their role and are glorified for it. But I know he wants to be like also does a good rapper, right? That's why he dropped an album by himself.
Right.
Like so like it was cool that he was dropping actual lyrics that were memorable as opposed to a catchy hook that people just like enjoy in a song.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. And I think that's why I gravitated towards Offset more, was because Offset obviously it's kind of more like lyrical and raps and everything. But it was nice to see Quavo kind of do that too, and even Takeoff make an appearance more, because I feel like Takeoff is always like, not always, but a lot of the time MIA and like just kind of in the background.
Yeah, and I think he doesn't care though.
Appreciate. Yeah,
like,
he doesn't care.
Like I don't think he cares.
But I'm like, damn, he's good.
He's good. That's the thing, bro. Like I thoroughly enjoyed his album that he dropped by himself when they all like dropped back to back. Like, bro, like he's actually super talented, and I love his fucking flow. I think people really thought like he was a mumble rapper back in the day, but like, yo, like I don't know if he got like this shit is clear, and like his delivery is and cadence is fire. But back to your point about Offset, bro. But every time Offset raps, like his energy. Like, even if the song is meant to be sad, like, he will make you, like, wake up and, like, listen and pay attention. So, like, yeah, like, I think this album reminded people that he definitely is the most, like, lyrical of all three of them.
For sure. I forget if I told you this, but there's, like, yeah, I think the internet knows it as well, but did you ever realize that Quavo almost sounds identical to, like, a Mike Jones with auto-tune?
Yeah, dude, I've thought that, but I didn't know that was like a thing going around.
Because my brother brought it up, and then I went online, and I don't know if it's like this big thing, but I know there's like Reddit threads and stuff
really?
Saying like, goddamn, like he sounds just like him.
Yeah. Dude, but shout out to Mike Jones, because he kind of like glorified that whole like repeating the rhyme a couple times and like making it a thing.
The phone number stuff and all that.
Yeah, he was a fucking marketing genius. Like there was no reason for him to be as successful as he was besides like pure marketing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I thought it was a great album. A good album. Probably a couple of songs make the heat of the week because it's kind of was slow. But yeah, shout out to Migos for Culture 3. They definitely delivered. And I agree with you. I think actually, if you rank the 3 albums that they dropped as a team, I think it'll be Culture 1, then Culture 3. I think, yeah, this album just kind of like, it hit harder. Like, you know, maybe Culture 2, they were just like such on a high. They feel like whatever they put out is going to be a hit. Whereas like this one, I feel like they kind of like were backs against the wall and they came through.
Yep, for sure.
Speaking of coming through, or maybe not coming through. So another album dropped last week, Polo G Hall of Fame, and then we were excited at midnight on Thursday because we're like, yo, this is gonna be a sick weekend, fucking hits galore. And I specifically was like, yo, that Polo G album is gonna have nothing but bangers. And I could not be further from the truth.
Yeah, I think a lot of people agree with you, including
Bro,
myself.
How the fuck did that just fucking flop, bro? Like, again, and I know they were posting numbers. He might end up selling more than Migos first week, but like, I don't think, unless you absolutely flop, like I don't really think anyone really cares about numbers, or unless you go like extreme, like if you sell like 400,000, they're like, oh, what the fuck is, like no one does that anymore, like, you know what I mean? But like,
yeah,
if you end up to like 120 and 135, like that's just pretty much what any good artist is doing these days. But bro, like that shit was hard to go through. Like I listened to that shit like on 2 different occasions, like trying to go from first to last song on the album, like just like, bro, what is this? You know what I mean? Like it wasn't creative. Like, yeah, a couple of songs which we already know, like Rap Star, we already know that song from like a few months ago. So like it's like, all right, whatever, like it's on the album. But like, yeah, man, I don't know. Like it just like I feel like the bar was set very high for him off his last project and like all those Kid Laroi and Juice WRLD features. So I feel like everyone was expecting greatness, and like, yo, you fucking tie your album Hall of Fame, like that's also like you gotta live up to that name, dog. And I feel like it just it didn't reach that.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I don't know, man. Like, I feel like I don't know if he considers himself drill, but a lot of these artists like him and Dirk coming out of Chicago, like the music itself, I just don't really like resonate with on a personal level too much. I feel like it's, I don't want to say it's the same story or anything, but it's kind of like just I guess it's not as fun as I would like it to be. Like I feel like there's never a like happy moment with a lot of the music, and I think that's why I never like catch myself like wanting to bump, really finding any mood to like bump into to really immerse myself into it.
Yeah. I don't blame you for that, dude, either. Yeah, again, it's just nothing to write home about. You know what I mean? Like there was no like, dude, I had no repeatable tracks. You know what I mean? Like nothing that was like, yo, play that shit back. Like what the fuck did he just say? And again, dude, I don't want to be hard. The kid's fucking 22 years old. Yeah, he's achieved amazing things in a short time. Has taken the internet by storm. Taken the industry. Like again, so like I don't want this to be like a, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like retire kind of thing. This is not that. But it just kind of like, it was like, it left a lot more to be desired. Cause I'm like, bro, like, yo, like, you're like the next big thing happening. Like what happened here? You know what I mean? Like, right. Every artist is going to have a flop album unless you're like a handful of artists. But it was surprising when you can see what his team was trying to make him into. Like you would think, kind of to our point last week about like the little Dirk and little bait, like if you're not happy with it, dude, don't put it out. You know what I mean? Like this, you can delay this shit. Like you don't have to drop this album because it's fucking the second week of June. Like God forbid you don't drop an album. Like there's a reason why Drake's not. We're getting to like why Drake's not dropping. Like bro, he's not happy with the album, so he's gonna like
maybe Kendrick too.
Exactly. It's like bro, like if I'm not content with my fucking body of work, you're not getting it, and you can suck my dick if you think I'm putting it out beforehand. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know why the rush or the again, especially because the Hall of Fame, dog. That is fucking like elite status.
It's crazy how like I'm just realizing how the little details can like influence like the perception of the music and stuff. Like I think I read online too, like someone specifically was like, yo, you named it Hall of Fame, therefore I was expecting this, and the imagery, and like I think that's what trips me out is how much that go like the visuals and just tone of everything goes into like how the music is received. It's like when you're in your bedroom just making shit, like how I've been like sometimes I don't really like think that far ahead, like, oh, like
sure,
if I use a fucking blue butterfly in this image, then this is what they're gonna expect from the song or whatever. And I feel like fans really do pay much more attention than these artists might even realize.
Yeah, dude, packaging is everything, bro. Like, I feel like there's a reason why J. Cole had a burning basketball hoop, right? It's like, yo, I'm about to fucking kill the game, torch the game, right? Like, that's like a metaphor in itself. So I think if you fucking, you make people buy in, again, good marketing to you because people were paying attention because clearly your album sales reflect that. But, bro, you got people's attention, you better fucking come correct. And I just don't think that this body of work justified that name.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And I don't know if it was because I know his last project was incredibly received, like
critically acclaimed. Dog.
Yeah, critically acclaimed. Like you swore, and it's not like he can't still do it, but you swore he was gonna fucking be the next Lil Baby.
Yeah,
whatever. He still can easily do that shit, but
100%, bro, 100%. We were talking about Gunna having a flop, and dude, he may have some of the best body of work over the past like year and a half. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, he's gonna be fine, dude. But it was just very surprising that I was like, bro, like I was at the gym for like 45 minutes. I'm like, bro, like this album's almost over. Like, where's the good shit?
You just like leave the gym? You just got up and left?
No, like I just fucking put Bad Bunny on because I'm like, yo, when in doubt, put Bad Bunny on. But yeah, I was like, bro, like what the fuck is going on? And like even like I think he has like a Little Wayne song and like the Kid Laroi song with Dirk didn't really hit. I'm like, bro, like you were like wasting this shit. Like again, to my point, like. I wish, like, dude, financially, we don't know their situation, but you think he's doing fine, right? Like, I think he's fine financially.
Pretty sure I saw a video, he bought, like, a big-ass 10-bedroom house or something.
Yeah, like, in the hills or some shit, right? Like, I think he's doing fine. So, like, you're not really dropping this to make money because no one's really making money off album sales anyway. You're not really going on tour. It's like, if you're not confident this is going to live up to the bar you set, dude, why drop it, bro? You know what I mean? Like,
I wonder if it's just like
artists who kind of take their time with this shit now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to like put words in his mouth, but I wonder if a lot of these artists kind of just feel like, oh, I did this, therefore, because he compared himself to Tupac in certain songs and everything. If they just reach a certain level, and then you almost feel like anything you put out has to be considered good at that point.
That's a good point, bro, because there was an article, I think we brought it up when we were interviewing, I think Just Adam or Dubwork, that like Complex had an article back in the day about how like Tupac may have been the bigger artist, but he also had a lot of like throwaway tracks. So maybe that's it, because he just felt like, yeah, like, you know, whatever I put out, it's going to be good regardless, it's me. But yeah, that might be a solid point, bro, but I don't know. There should be listening sessions beforehand with other people that are in the industry and be like, bro, like don't do that just yet. You know what I mean? But again, kudos to him. I'm sure his core fans love it. But as someone who's not a core fan and just being like, you know, neutral, and I was very excited about this, bro. Like there was a lot of shit dropping last Friday, and I was like, yo, that's the one that's gonna have the most hits.
I know you brought it up too.
Yeah, dude. I was like, yo, that Hall of Fame shit's gonna slap. Yeah. And yeah, no, it wasn't that. But again, he'll be all right. His team will be all right. They're doing well. The motherfucker got locked up like over the weekend too in Miami over some. I think added like a listening party for the album. So there's
some conspiracy that. Oh, keep going.
No, yeah, like I know his mom was on IG Live, like recording the whole thing. Like, what was the conspiracies you heard about it?
Because I think Pooh Shiesty got caught up. Granted, like, I mean, I take this shit with a grain of salt because like half these motherfuckers are actually doing something they shouldn't be doing. But
right.
There's a conspiracy that like in Miami, you know, the hip hop police or whatever is cracking down on people. I mean, if that is the case, I don't blame them because I think some concert in Miami got shot the fuck up.
Yeah, like 3 weeks. I think like a week after you left.
But I heard Pooh Shiesty like shot a security guard and claimed he accidentally did it or something. But I don't know what to think. Like,
yeah. I mean, yeah, I can see why the hip hop police is a thing at times, right? Because it's just like maybe it's not like on the artist, but just like the proof is in the pudding that this shit has shown that at these fucking festivals and concerts that shit just gets out of fucking hand. So you kind of like grateful the cops are there because you're like, at least maybe this will fucking stop people from being idiots.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt with this San Francisco shit. Because, you know, I mean, it's like, at least within the hip hop culture, it's kind of lame to support the police or like want them around and shit. But I'm not trying to fucking die so I can look cool.
Fam, the house 2 doors over is a cop, and I was like, yes. You know what I mean? Like, I feel so safe in my cul-de-sac because I got that cop car like right outside.
Exactly. And you know what's crazy is like every now and then I'll like watch an interview on Vlad TV or whatever, and like half of these rappers have uncles and fathers who are cops.
Yeah.
And they clearly don't say fuck them every time they go home. So people they just want to ignore the fact that it's necessary for them to do their jobs. But I'm sure they've had scenarios where cops roughed them up when they probably shouldn't have or whatever.
Sure. Terrible experiences, but they're not remembering it's like life, bro. Like when like bad shit happens, you only remember the bad, and then you don't take into account the like 99% of the time where shit was actually good. I think most people's encounter with the police, I mean, I don't want to put words in people's mouth and come across super fucking privileged, but I feel like I remember being a kid in a fucking terrible neighborhood in the Bronx, like little brown kid on a bicycle. And like the cops were just like, oh, how's it going? How's your day going? Like, going well. Going to the park. All right, have a great day. Like it was that, bro. It wasn't just like, fuck you, bro. Get off, you know what I mean? It was nothing, bro. It was fucking 7. Like, you know, like what the fuck is the issue? So I get it though, man. Like it's people do have that I mean it's trauma, right? That's what trauma is, right? Even if it was one bad incident, it could scar you for fucking life. So I'm not saying people are wrong for how they feel.
Exactly.
Cool, man. So Polo G flopped. Culture 3 was a hit. No real big releases from superstars this weekend, but for future superstar, our boy Just Adam is dropping classics only this coming Friday. I think it's like 6 tracks. But again, we're super fans, so we can't wait to do that review with next week and just go over some. I'm sure there's gonna be at least a couple fucking super repeatable tracks. So that's exciting.
Classics. Well, he said classics only, so they gotta only be classics.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, yo,
the album title.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, bro, we got the text. I'm like, yo, it better be fucking 6 classics, dog. Like, repeatable. Right. But I'm sure it's gonna be hot. And the role that he's doing is super unique to him, so that's cool. But all right, man, let's get to some other stuff. I know we kind of got excited about Drake in an interview was hinting at, or did he come out directly and say that we're gonna get the CLB album this summer?
Yeah, he was. I forget what it was for, but he was being interviewed by someone, and he was refusing to give an exact date. And they basically said, "Are we gonna get it this summer?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, definitely."
Yeah. He was real nonchalant about it. He's like, yeah, for sure. It's like, bro, it's been a year.
I mean, honestly, like if it was any later, I personally, obviously, I would check into it. The entire world would, but the hype for me personally would just be gone. I would be like, I just want to fucking find the 1 or 2 songs to add to my party playlist or something at that point. I'm not trying to have it be a listening experience.
Yeah, dude, that's the thing. I as a Drake stan, I totally agree with that because, bro, he's had 2 merchandise rollouts over the course of the last 8 months. That's like hinting like this is gonna drop any second now. And like it hasn't, bro. So at some point you're like, bro, you got to stop distracting us and either stop the fucking rollouts and then just drop the album when we're not even paying attention anymore. Because like, bro, I can't have this like, oh, go online, buy this new Nike t-shirt, the album's coming, and they're like, yo, where's the album, bro? Like, we're like, you know, what are we doing right now? So I agree with that. Yeah, I don't think he can tease it anymore. I think he just has to drop it. Like, let us know on a Monday, hey, it's coming out Thursday night. Get fucking ready.
Yeah. I agree with that. But did you say, so I know you said earlier that something about him perfecting this album and working on tracks and that's why, but then I heard the other shit about his like knee or whatever, the injury, which I still couldn't like wrap my head around in terms of why that would cause that much of a delay. But did he explain any like
no,
why?
I don't think he explained it, but I mean, dude, I'm just reading like the fucking tea leaves here. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, bro, if he loved this fucking album, this album would have been out. Right. You know, when they were teasing it back in December for like a January 1st drop. You know what I mean? Like, there's no fucking way you're sitting on a work of art for fucking 9 months or whatever it is that you're actually happy with. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? And like, and also, that song on the Gunner and Young Thug collaboration with the whole YSL team, like that song that we love that Drake's featured on was Drake's song for the album. Yeah. And he told Gunner, I don't like it, bro. Like, you can have it if you know what I mean? So I think there's a lot of that happening right now because, like, again, we don't know this fucking guy from anything, but as someone who, like, I feel like you know this, bro. I feel like when you did, like, highs and lows or, you know, Be All Right, like, I feel like when we were talking about it, like, you were just dying to get this shit out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yo, I got a banger.
I didn't want to wait.
Let's wait a year for this shit. You know what I mean? Like, what? You can be in a whole different mood. Like, you know, sounds can change. You know what I mean? There's no way you fucking have 10, 12 fucking great songs. You're like, yeah, let me just sit on this shit. Like, I don't see that.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Damn, I said that like 50 times this episode. But you brought up a great point because there's actually a track I was working on a few weeks ago.
Okay.
And I was just like, fuck, like, I want to get this shit out ASAP, like as soon as it's finalized. And I feel like as an artist, if you genuinely think what you put out is like to the best of your ability, you're not going to be like, yeah, I'll wait like 6 months and when things are, you know, different, because you won't be in that mindset anymore.
100%.
Like,
and it's only gonna build more doubt, right? Because now you have 6 months to overanalyze every little thing in that song. Whereas, like, if you actually loved it, I'm assuming in the moment, you're like, yo, put that shit out now. Like, I don't give a fuck about a rollout. Put it out now. You know what I mean? So, again, I know it's going to be a good album. So I'm putting it out there now. Like, I'm going to love that shit. But I don't think he loves it just yet, or else we would have had that fucking album.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting how things work. But like you said, at the end of the day, like, as long as the artist feels like they put in, you know, 100% and like they're ready, that's all that matters. I can wait. Like, I think Kendrick is a good example of, assuming he waited each time, which inevitably he must have, because each album was like 2 years apart or something.
Bro, this album we're going on 4 years now since Damn.
That's fucking wild. I felt like we were at the
Rolling Loud. That was
first Rolling Loud like 2 years ago, it feels like.
Yeah, dude, 4 years ago. 4 years
That's wild.
ago, Damn dropped. And he damn near did every fucking song on the album in that like hour set. I was like, oh shit,
Yep.
like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he flew through that shit like it was.
Yeah, dude. And then Diddy had his own personal seat like right at the front, like with no fans around him. I was like,
wait, at Rolling Loud?
You don't remember that?
No.
Bro, so like there was like the gate where like obviously they try to keep everyone back, then the stage, and then like there was like 5 feet gap, and then Diddy had his own chair where he was just sitting and just like taking it all in. I was like, bro, this
damn.
When you have so much
power.
money, you're just like, yeah, bro, I'm sitting here. This is my seat. Like, this is my
shit. It's just like his own personal concert.
Yo, it was phenomenal, bro. Like, yeah, but that was a great set, because that was when he was still doing the whole like Bruce Lee inspiration. So random skits from like Bruce Lee old documentaries. Like, that was dope. So yeah, bro, that was 4 years ago, dog. That's wild.
Yeah, that's insane.
Because technically we got a Drake album when? What was Drake's last album?
Damn, I remember. It was Scorpion, right? Not the, and we're not counting Dark
bro, so that's
Lanes or whatever.
3 years ago. Dude,
Dark
Scorpion was,
okay, Scorpion was 3 years ago.
We're not gonna count Dark Demo tapes.
Yeah.
We're taking it as a mixtape that he just wanted to put out to have fun, right? So let's not count that. Even though I would count it, I would fucking still rank it very high on his list of albums. But if it's just albums, bro, Scorpion was the last album, and that was the summer of 2018. So that was literally like a couple weeks from now, 3 years ago.
Damn.
Like,
that is a long ass time ago.
Wild.
I feel like that puts even more pressure for me to want to appreciate this one. Because when they have these trends of, oh, you got to wait another 3 years, then you get low-key upset if it's not up to your standards.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, for sure. But maybe that's probably what's even killing him more. It's like, bro, like, I gotta come. It's been 3 years, dog. I gotta come correct. But again, he's only going against the bar he set. So it's like, I get it, bro. Like, how often can you top greatness? So it can't be an easy task. But speaking of greatness, he's been great. We've talked about for over a decade. His first actual album, so not the So Far Gone mixtape, his first actual album, Thank Me Later, came out 11 years ago today. Which, bro, 11 years ago today, I was a fucking junior going into my senior year of college in Miami, living my best life. And wow, times have fucking changed, and this guy is still like on top. You know what I mean? So,
right.
So what was your favorite track off the Thank Me Later album, and what do you think that album did for you personally?
Yeah, it wasn't hard for me to choose that one. I vividly remember still being in my boy's car, and we were blasting Over, the song Over from the album.
Okay.
And we were just so like mesmerized by how big he had become, and I felt like that song represented that so well, because I mean the lyrics were just so raw, and he's like, I know way too many people now I didn't know last year, blah blah blah. Like, it just felt like, even though you obviously aren't Drake, it felt like you understood, like, because you heard the other shit before that was popular, and then you heard that song and you're like, damn, like I felt like I was part of that
at
journey.
that time, bro, like, again, he wasn't saying like I'm at a college dorm drinking beer, but this dude is 2 years older than us. So you're hearing it from a 24, 25-year-old perspective when you're 21, 22. So you can't help but relate to it, because it's like, yo, young adult shit we're doing, obviously not at a fucking millionaire level, but it's still like, I can relate to going to the fucking club and like, you know, trying to get a girl's number and she says no, or all this shit. You know what I mean? Like shit like that. It's like, obviously he says this shit in a much better way, but you know what I mean? Like, it's still like shit we can relate to. So yeah, like, it was hard not to fucking put yourself in Drake's shoes. Yeah.
And it was motivational, I think, because I think his brand, at least for a lot of people who were like super hardcore hip hop heads and shit, was like, he's this soft, light skinned dude and everything. And like, that didn't affect how well received he was within the culture. And he was like super vulnerable, wasn't like trying to be this tough guy and shit. And I feel like in general, men just like gravitate towards that sort of macho attitude, because they feel like, oh, they can't be ostracized by society or whatever if they try to get emotional.
Yeah,
be
complete defense mechanism, 100%.
Mm-hmm. So I think that's what made it even more dope, was like, oh, somebody who is low key like all of us, but isn't afraid to say it and is winning far more than everyone else. And then you're like, oh shit, I could just be myself now.
Yeah, dude, because think about it. You rewind a few years before, we came off, so 2005, 2006, we're coming, it's still super G-Unit, alpha male, yo, don't you fucking dare ever fucking question the unit. You know, that was super aggression. And then Kanye really takes off with fucking Graduation. And then I think, again, I know, like, I mean, probably Drake would admit this, because like him and like he was like, Kanye was like one of his idols, but like, I think Drake was able to do what he wanted to do because of fucking Kanye. You know what I mean? Because Kanye dropped Graduation, and then before So Far Gone really took off, he dropped 808s and Heartbreaks. So like, dude, like, you literally had the biggest rapper in the world like crying on fucking songs. Like, it gave whoever could run with it the ability to say, all right, I can also do that too. And then Drake is absolutely super fucking talented. So I think like everything was like made for an artist like Drake just to take over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. And yeah, that was a good call out, because I remember listening to Graduation before I discovered Drake, and Graduation was one of the few times where I was like, oh, Kanye is obviously different. He's not the hardcore thug. And I think that made it easier for a lot of people to accept Drake for sure. Because he was like this hybrid, like R&B dude wearing funny clothes and stuff.
From track to track, you had no idea it was going to be an R&B or hip hop song. You had no idea.
100%. And then was 808s and Heartbreaks after like Drake already had like Best
So Drake had a buzz already, but Thank Me Later came out after 808s and Heartbreaks.
Okay, got it. So yeah, kind of like
808s and Heartbreaks came out like 08, 09 when his mom passed.
Got it. So yeah, at that time, obviously everyone's more receptive to the less alpha male-y, hyper masculinity type of music.
Well, just like aggression, because I think like the cool thing about 808s and Heartbreaks was that like it was alpha, but it was like alpha R&B, which we never really heard before, right? It was like cursing a girl out in like the most like seductive way and like rapping. And we're like, bro, what is he doing? This is phenomenal. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it was different. I think at the end of the day, that's what people appreciated. It wasn't like Kanye was trying to be R. Kelly or something and
right.
sing
It
his
was
ass
his own
off.
way of doing it.
Yeah,
dude. For me, so Thank Me Later, bro. Like honestly, I was disappointed on the album as a whole because, bro, I was overly excited for it because, dude, So Far Gone. When you talk about a fucking album sitting hard, bro, I could listen to every song over and over again. The Licky Likey song, the song with Butt. Oh my god!
and the
bro.
Licky Likey, I've listened to that song
god,
a billion times.
Yo, that song itself, I would if I only created one song as an artist and that was it, I would retire because I'm like, bro, I'm not copying this shit. Like, bro, that song was everything, dog. So like that mixtape showed so much range. And then again, I know he kind of talked about this in that Rap Radar interview with B Dot. It's like, bro, I don't know, like the album just felt like someone that had a lot of pressure on it. You know what I mean? Like there was so many features, bro. And I'm like, bro, like, do we need this, bro? Because like you were really killing this shit by yourself. And then like if you had a feature, it wasn't like overwhelming. Like some of his features felt like overwhelming, but dude, it's a very good body of work. But I don't know, there was just so much hype about Drake. So when it finally dropped, I was like, all right, it's not bad. Like you could never say it's bad, but I was like, it's whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't think it's wild that his first album already had a bar to be set to, but it did, bro. Like, because that So Far Gone mixtape was everything, bro. Like, all you could listen to. So, album was fine for me. So I was, when it dropped the summer of 2010. So I was working a part-time job in between junior and senior year in college in Miami. So I was listening to that shit, like playing ball, and I was like, damn. But I will say, my favorite song of it, ironically, is a Kanye West produced track, Find Your Love.
Okay, I'm glad you said that.
That song itself is a classic. And then funny enough, I was out with my girlfriend at the time, and my mom was visiting, and we went to like one of those like corny ass little bars in Miami Beach. And bro, that song came on, and my mom got up and started dancing.
Yeah,
and she's
that
like,
beat.
She's like, I love this track. I'm like, first of all, who says the word track? You know what I mean? Like, it's song.
What?
But yeah, dude, that Find Your Love was universally like just ridiculous.
That's why, like, it's always weird to me how that song apparently is kind of how Kanye and Drake developed some issues or something over.
Really?
I don't know if it was the video or how it's produced, but I've heard some like mixed opinions. But when I first heard that song, I was like, holy shit. Like the production and the chorus and the video, like everything was perfect.
The video in Jamaica, right?
Yeah, in Jamaica. The beat just sounds like some tropical shit, so it made sense. And yeah, that actually might be my favorite song now that you bring it up, and I'm just reimagining when I first heard it.
Oh, bro, that shit. And the thing, I hate that it was like the second to last song on the album. So I was like, bro, like if you would have put this in the middle, I would have been like, oh, let's keep it going. I don't know, but he knew what he was doing. But yeah, that song is, dude, timeless. If there's timeless music, that is a timeless song, because I can play that song now or 10 years from now, and I know I'm gonna have like the same like excitement around it like, as I did before.
For sure. Yeah, that's definitely a classic.
Yeah. So I wonder if the beef like with them was like maybe they like you think Kanye had like an ego trip or something about like maybe like just he didn't expect Drake to like shine on that song as much as he did?
I don't know. From what I heard, like, I mean, I'm sure Drake obviously was like, at that point, Kanye was goated and was probably listening to Kanye's opinions, and then over time felt like Kanye didn't want him to shine too much, and was like, oh damn, like he's helping me out because he wants to be associated with me, but he's not like really
actually
being 100% genuine.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't know too. Obviously, I don't think many people know anything about their relationship, but it seems like whatever went down between them took place when Drake was really that budding artist with his first album.
And it
Kanye's
really
like,
was.
Oh, fuck.
I totally agree, bro. And I think it was really that time where like Jay-Z was already like not even goated. Whatever's above goated, that's what Jay-Z was, right? Like unapproachable. Like, bro, like he is the greatest thing. If we get one album this decade or not, doesn't matter. Like, yo, he is on the Mount Rushmore. But this was a time where I think that beef started where like Kanye was the guy, but then there was only one guy he was being compared to all the time, and it was Drake. And it was like Drake this, Kanye that, Drake. And it's like, bro, like why the fuck? He has one album. Like what the fuck we talking about kind of a thing, right? Yeah. But then I also think like but because he said in multiple interviews back in that like late 2000s, early 2010s like range that like Drake was his favorite rapper. You know what I mean? Like it's like he's like, dude, I fucking don't want to like this guy, but he's so good, but I hate him. Like that's it had to be like a wild ego trip for him.
Yeah, I'm glad you said the word ego, because I'm like, it's crazy how that alone like jeopardized probably so much great music we could have gotten right now from the both of them. Weren't they supposed to do like Wolves, the album or some shit?
Something, bro. But then I'm also not mad about it because again, this might have been like Kanye trolling and Drake not having his troll detectors up. But bro, that fucking that song on the mixtape More Life with Kanye and Drake, I'm About to Glow, that shit was horrendous. So I'm like, bro, this is what y'all had planned. Like y'all can keep that done.
I think I remember that. It's probably like that effect of where they're just like, yo, we are so big.
100%. Yo, whatever
on the
we
mic.
Put out, yo, they're gonna love this shit. And everyone was like, nah, dog, this ain't it. Because like it
like
was
the
like both of them.
Shit.
Yeah, right. Where he was clearly just fucking trolling. But yeah, but speaking of Kanye, rumors are heating up on the interwebs that he is back and in a Hawaii mansion where he recorded my Dark Twisted Fantasy, that he is working on a new album, bro. So he took over the gospel, scene by storm, won a Grammy for Best Gospel Album last year, which we didn't even talk about, which is like, I know we gave him shit and we didn't really love the album, but he pretty much did exactly what he said he was going to do. He was like, yeah, I'm going to make the best gospel album you've ever heard production-wise. So your thoughts or your hopes for if we are getting a Kanye album, do you want it to be the same Christian vibe, or do you want to see Kanye actually talk about some like, again, not that Christianity is like fake, but when I say real, like, shit that we can relate to, right? Like, like, divorce my fucking wife. I fucking thought she cheated on me with my fucking rapper who I hate. Like I want to hear that shit, bro.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I feel like if he goes the Christian route, it won't be like, because honestly, with the last one, the gospel album, it wasn't as Christian, quote unquote, as I thought it would be, to where like, he was just like,
he was still
talking
Kanye.
About fucking
Jesus
he was still in the manger and shit. Yeah, he was still Kanye. So even if he does that this time around, like I wouldn't be surprised if he were to still be decently like raw with his delivery, but I would prefer just a regular ass Kanye album, where he's just giving us, a classic Kanye type of vibe, whatever that may be that he's feeling. I feel like regardless of whatever approach he has, it'll be worth listening to, but also part of me is always like nervous, like how crazy he could go, because he's such an eclectic person. Yeah, dude. Yeah, and it can go in so many ways, right? Because the album he dropped in 2018, like, so that was 3 years ago, the bipolar one. What was it called? Oh, Now I See, or what was it, bro? I don't know. This full. They call it the Ye album, right? The Ye album. Yeah, that one. Yeah. Dude, that ended up actually being a pretty good album, bro. Like, in all hindsight, like that was pretty good. The Jesus King one, bro, is like almost like I don't know. You can tell me if I'm putting words in your mouth, but I mean, at some point, I also felt bad like saying anything negative about it, because like, why would you say anything negative about someone trying to put God first? And like, all right, even if it didn't come out
great. It's still, the idea is fucking phenomenal. You know what I mean? Like, this billionaire is like, let me put out a Christ album. So like, can you really even criticize that in any way? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you feel bad because I mean, we talked on the podcast 100 times about how, you know, we listen to so much music with murder, this and that. And then when someone like as big as Kanye releases something that's the opposite of that, and you're like, it was all right. You just feel like, well, damn, like, then what the fuck do we want? If
right,
we
I'm
don't
the
even
problem.
want this shit. Yeah, you're like, I'm the problem. There was definitely good tracks on there, and it was like the production was good.
Oh yeah,
but,
production was wild. Yeah, wild.
But at the same time, I feel like there's this restriction of like, oh, if it's religious, then I can't be real, which doesn't make sense to me, because you just have to admit your wrongs if you're going to talk about sinful shit.
Yeah, or this thing you can't curse, right? Like, why can't you curse? Like, why? Because it's a sin? Well, you made other sins and you moved on with your life. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, dude, I'm excited for it, man. Anything Kanye, you know, is going to get a full multiple spins. And dude, I just think he has so much to say, bro. You just divorced your wife of 6 or 7 years. You have 4 kids with you. Have become a billionaire now a couple times over. You are literally one of the most powerful human beings in the world. Half of your own people think you're a fucking Uncle Tom. Like, he can say so many things, and like, you know, if he touches those topics, it's gonna be in the most cleverest Kanye fucking way. So like, why wouldn't we want that on a fucking track? So yeah, I'm all for it, bro.
Yeah, and Sci-Hi, I'm sure will come through and write some nice hooks.
Yeah. You know he's coming correct. He's like, oh yeah, you guys know how writers now? Well, watch this. Like, I'm gonna have the best fucking writers. You know what I mean? All right, man. So that was pretty much like no big topics, but I think things we wanted to touch upon. I mean, do you want to touch the Megan Thee Stallion thing or the Kid Laroi? It's such either the Kid Laroi topic or Megan Thee Stallion.
Kid Laroi. I mean, Megan Thee Stallion. Long story short, she wants the term thought and hoe to be like a respectable thing. We don't have to get into that shit. I think.
Oh, kind of like the Amber Rose like slut walk or something like that.
Yeah, and it's just like, I'm fine with like people reclaiming words and making it positive. Obviously, like that's what happened with the word nigga. But at the same time, like, I feel like there's a little bit of bitterness like somewhere within that, like some of these combos.
Right. Yeah.
But that's all I wanted to say. I don't really think it's that important of a topic.
Yeah.
To most people, it is what it is.
Yeah, especially where so I do want to bring this up then. Fuck it, bro. Let's bring one thing about Megan. So, dude, how do you think she feels where, dude, it's been almost a year since the shooting, right? Almost a year.
Damn.
Yo, wild, right? Wild. So it's been almost a year since this fucking shooting, and he's clearly not in jail. And then, do I think initially people in the industry like, yo, we can't fuck with Tory. Like, yo, let's just like keep our distance. And bro, it feels like damn near every fucking week he's either doing an interview on a major fucking, you know, IG personalities thing, podcast, or he's doing a feature or has a feature from like an artist who is just doing songs with Megan. You know what I mean? Like, he just dropped the Baby song. You got French Montana, another song. They're hinting at like a collab album with him and Chris Brown. Like, how do you think she feels when she's like, yo, like, what's good? You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here?
I think she's bitter, but then it almost says to me like, yo, you're not telling the full story. Because if Tory straight up was like, damn, like trying to inflict that level of harm on you, I couldn't look you in the eye if you were to hang out with Tory.
Bro, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, these guys in the industry know what the fuck happened. You know what I mean? They're not us like, oh, what is TMZ saying today? What's academics saying?
Yeah.
Like, yo, these motherfuckers know. Like, they know. So clearly they know enough. Like, bro, like, nah, they were both drunk and acting stupid. Like, whatever, dog. I'm getting this paper, and like, Tory's a funny guy. Like, I'm gonna fuck with Tory. But it's just wild though, because it's been but again, maybe it's not petty from her, because bro, like, it's not like his stock going up has brought her stock down. Like, it's the opposite, bro. Like, her stock is the highest it's ever fucking been. So maybe she doesn't care, but fam, like, if you shot me and then I saw all my boys hanging out with you, like, it was not a big deal, bro, we're gonna have problems.
Yeah,
you know
like, what? I don't give a. At that point, it's like, I don't care about money. Like, you are literally hanging out with someone that either tried to kill me or just wanted me to suffer like a motherfucker.
Yes, dude. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's wild to me. Wild, bro. So, yeah, dude, to each their own, but that's it. That was the only thing I wanted to bring about Megan, because I'm like, yo, she's got to feel a way. Again, we're Team Tory all day. Just so let's be fucking clear. Like, we're not really bossing the show besides a couple people, but yo, Team Tory all day, bro. But she has to feel some kind of way, bro, because it's like, bro, everyone loves this guy. You know what I mean? Like, everyone loves this guy.
So I'm not. My brother knows his chick, who I met, and she like works at a weed shop, but I don't know why. I don't know if she gave Tory weed or if they smashed or what, but he follows her. He's like one of the 400 people that he follows. And she posted like a kind of like a booty, like one of those casual, like, oh, I'm pretending like I'm showing my shoes, but it's really my ass type of pictures. And he commented like team her name, and then she responded team Tory, and like other bunch of like chicks on her page were like liking his comment and stuff. So clearly, like, there's a huge group of women who don't give a fuck about the Megan side of the story.
Bro, I got a 22-year-old niece. Bro, she was a Tory fan before. Like, I really think, like, if you were a Tory female fan before, you doubled the fuck down after the incident, because you're like, nah, fuck that, bro. We love him. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, yo, she's posting this shit every day. He does anything on IG. Like, it's amazing, bro. Like, you're right. He has a core women fan base that, they're not going anywhere, dog. They're not going anywhere. Honestly, he probably lost more male fans because they just felt bad that, like, well, I can't be supporting a guy who beats women or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like, they just felt guilty or whatever.
Yeah, like, I mean, they felt bad in the car. Like, their girls there, they're like, bumping like BID. And they're like, yo, turn that shit off, bro. Like, what
But if he did do it, like, he's honestly like a Gotham villain, because he looks like he's having the time of his life, smiling all day, every day.
All day, every day, bro. All day, every day. And that song that I sent you a couple weeks ago, that Feels song with Chris Brown, fire. I haven't peeped to the Baby song just yet, but yeah, bro. Like, it's I was wondering what your thoughts on that, because if I was her, even if it was an accident, the shooting, I would still feel a type of way. It's like, bro, like, y'all really just hanging out with him? Like, it's not a big deal. Like, what the fuck? All right, cool. Last thing before we get some heat of the week and get out of here, Kid Laroi is now going to be managed by the same management team that does Justin Bieber's whole career. So I guess it's Scooter Braun, right? Is going to be leading the way for Kid Laroi. So your thoughts on that, bro? Because we were literally doing an episode of him almost a year ago as well, where no-name artist from Australia comes down, gets signed by a Chicago rapper, rap scene. Like, we obviously been fans since, like, the beginning. But dude, how much can change in a year? Like, wow.
It's crazy. But I do, it kind of does reveal to me that, like, if you're white and actually talented in hip hop, like, the GOATs are going to fucking find your ass. You
stand out so much, dog. Like, you just stand out.
And that's what happened. And I honestly, like, in the beginning stages, I'm like, damn, this dude's pretty good. Like, how come he's not latching on? Like, he's white. This motherfucker makes great music. How is he not blowing up? And then lo and behold, they're probably behind the scenes, like, waiting for him to be desperate and shit.
Yeah.
Like, let's wear him out till he's like ready to give up, and then be like, yo, come with us.
Yeah, bro. And it's like, that's the weight of being signed to Scooter Braun and Bieber's team. You know what I mean? Like, bro, like, they could have easily signed a fucking team of fucking artists over the years, and they don't. They're like, bro, we're fucking hand-picking these motherfuckers. We know what's going to be a hit, bro. So for them to say this guy has it is, bro, that's a cosign that any of those little fucking G Herbo video he has in the projects, way better than that cosign, bro, because that cosign is like, we don't believe you, bro. You're a 17-year-old from Australia. Like, yo, this is just a video shoot. Like, stop.
For sure.
But like, as far as like a cosign, like, yo, we know you're a talented fucking artist. We got your back. Like, that's a fucking dope cosign, bro, because it's all just based on like, bro, like you said, like this kid's fucking talented, bro. Like talented as fuck.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up the G Herbo stuff because obviously like G Herbo and Lil Bibby and them are super talented, but like the Chicago Joe scene is miles. One, he's from Australia, and then two, he has like more of a pop sound, like Post Malone type sound. So
yeah,
just
like a
really,
nasally, like a more nasally like Post Malone.
Yeah, and I think eventually, I mean, Scooter Braun was probably just like, "Yo, fuck all that shit. Like, come do songs with Bieber and Miley Cyrus and all these other people that are on the pop side, and you'll be way bigger and marketable."
So yeah, do we know the details though? Like, does that mean he's no longer signed to G Herbo's team, or is it like a joint venture?
To be honest, I'm not sure. And I don't even know where people get this info from. Like from the few random hip hop YouTubers I've listened to, they made it seem like he turned his back on Lil Bibby and them. From what I understand, they still have like ownership or partial ownership or whatever of his previous shit, but like moving forward, he's like a blank slate and like they don't have any say.
But I do think it still helps him to have that around. Not me that around, but like the music being put out. Like again, like we should say anything about Post Malone. Like Post Malone does like need all these fucking hip hop features, but it helps. You know what I mean? Like it helps make people just like listen to you kind of, and then you can do your own thing. So yeah, again, dude, he's another super young kid. Like I think he's like 17, 18 now. Like hopefully he has like his whole life ahead of him. But it was just dope, bro. And again, that Bieber stamp is serious, bro. Like people like, dude, Bieber is a fucking goat. You know what I mean? Like we take it for granted because we see him. He's like a little fucking 6-year-old kid with a fucking mop haircut. But bro, like longevity and bro, like I've been a grown ass man at 25 singing every single Bieber song in a club, and like I could give two fucks, bro. Like I didn't know that shit verbatim, bro. You know what I mean? Like so
I knew I liked Bieber when 90% of dudes would call you gay or a fucking bitch for liking his music, and I still bumped it. I was like, I can't stop. Like what the fuck do you want me to do?
Windows down, bro. Like I did not give a fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good for him, bro. But that's a fucking crazy situation, bro. Because if they drop a fucking collab album, woo. Because fucking Bieber only has the best writers, so that shit's gonna just sound good from his side of it. Then Laroi, like even that one song they had on Bieber's album, was like, oh my god, like this is fire. And they were actually talking about like deep shit. Like it wasn't even like another pop song. They're like, oh my god. So like yeah, salute to both of them, bro. Because it's a power move by both of them because it kind of just, again, I think Bieber is like one of the best, but like it just also shows that he's like tapped into like what's happening in hip hop, right? Because even though like Laroi is a pop, I mean, you can maybe make him pop, like hip hop heads knew him first, right? So I think we claim him as like one of our own, right? So. It's dope that Bieber at that level is like, oh shit, like this really is like a sound that could be the future of what music is.
For sure. And wouldn't it be wild what if they threw Post Malone into the mix and all three of them did like some fucking Musketeer type white boy album? That shit would break the internet.
Yeah, dude, that would also, bro, it'd break the internet on both sides, bro, because they're like, yo, this is not culture vulturing. I don't know what the fuck is. You know what I mean? Like,
that shit is name it that. Just culture vulture. Culture vulture 3.
Yo, because they're, facts, bro. Like, that, I don't think the world is ready for that, bro. Maybe like an album they never released, but, bro, I don't think the world's ready for that, bro, because that onslaught will be heavy.
That would be hilarious. If they had culture and then in parentheses vulture and then the 3 and it was just their 3 faces. If they don't do that shit,
the same thing. Oh man, that'd be too much, bro. That'd be too much, and also like too obvious. But yeah, dude, at some point, you can have fun with it or some shit. But shout out to them. Shout out to Kid Laroi. Was Hans his producer and Bieber and them? Good for them, bro. It seems like a logical thing because artists like Laroi seem to be like the next big thing in music. So good for him, bro. All right, man, let's get to some heat of the week. What was a song that stood out to you while you were having your Mexico fiesta?
Yeah, you already called me out on me rarely posting other random rappers' music. And
Yeah.
IDK released a song called Peloton. And the sample, I don't know where the producer found it, but the song
Fire.
and the lyrics, just everything about the song like screamed hit to me, but it didn't seem corny, even though Peloton's obviously like got popular because of the pandemic and
Yep.
girls riding that bike and shit. He did it in a way that was like super creative to me. The beat is fire. Everything about the song was fire. Even like the lyrics, like he's talking about basically breaking all these girls' hearts, and his unborn daughter, like speaking to her, like, yo, if a dude breaks your heart, then that's karma for me, and like all the shit I've done. So yeah, it's like it's one of those songs. I always appreciate songs that, you know, when girls hear it in the club, they're like, oh, this shit's so fun. But like when you listen to the lyrics closely, like there's a deeper message. I appreciate
the artists that can do that, like that's the gift, right? Like you can make a fun, universally appealing song, but like you're actually like the lyrics matter.
Yeah, it's kind of like swimming pools and Kendrick. Like when you're in the club, you're just like fucking thinking about liquor and shit, but he's like talking about addiction and all kinds of other stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to IDK. He has, I think you sent me the thing about him having some Harvard University crash course.
Yeah, dude. This
10
guy
days.
seems to be like super about his business. You know what I mean? Like music is like maybe like a path to do bigger and better things like in the world. So I think even Corday was like on some episode of like some I think Earn Your Leisure or something like that, and he was saying how like IDK put him on like a lot to like stocks and different like things to do with your portfolio. So
oh wow,
yeah, dude, shout
I
out
didn't
to
even
him.
know he did all that. Nice.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, he seems to be some guy who like really has like his money and masters in order. So salute to young artists like really taking control of their career. Dude, for me, speaking of Bieber, we spoke about the Culture 3, dude. It's honestly their collab song What You See. Like, bro, that shit was just well done. That's like a fucking, that song has hit written all over it, but not for like the obvious reasons, right? Because sometimes like those corny ass like DJ Khaled, Bieber, Chance the Rapper, like those songs are corny as fuck.
Yeah, they just on TikTok and shit.
Yeah, bro. I'm like, but this song was like a hit, but like not an obvious hit. But like, wow, this is like a very well put together song, bro. So What You See, like slower song, right? Talking to a girl, like your girl, like, yo, like what do you see in me, dog? Like, because you tell me you love me, but why? Because that just sounds like a guy who like has his own insecurities, but like you have a great thing. You're like, I don't want to fuck this up, but like, how can you love me if I don't really love myself? Like, what the fuck's going on here, kind of a thing. So that was dope, bro. And again, just to see Bieber constantly like getting these cosigns from hip hop artists, just, you know, reaffirms that like, bro, this guy is a fucking phenomenal artist, bro. Like, I don't think they even see him anymore as a pop guy. It's just like, bro, like Bieber, like get Bieber on the fucking track somehow.
Fucking love that song. Definitely played it 100 times on my drive back up to SF. And I was thinking the same thing too. I'm like, damn, this shit feels like a hit to me, but I know they're not gonna play it on the radio.
Right.
Or if they do, it's gonna like disappear in 3 weeks or some shit. But do you think, like, what do you think the reason is? Is it just too mature? It's not. Like,
yeah, I think it's too mature. There's nothing.
A 10-year-old song.
Yeah. There's nothing fun about it. It's just like a very mature, you know, 90s, early 2000s R&B kind of. You know what I mean? Like, it just, there's nothing fun about it. But dude, as far as like a very well done, produced lyrics song, yeah, dude, that shit's really good. Really good to me.
Yeah, it was amazing. They couldn't have done anything better on that song than what they already did. Yeah,
and again, it was just nice because we had Bieber on the Khaled album, but then that was like a different song too. It wasn't like the corny song; it was a 21 Savage song. You know what I mean? So like, it just seems that like, I think he's getting more and more comfortable, like whoever the hell he is as a person, and you know that's coming through, right? Because for the Kanye comparison, as far as like, you know, he came out with a Christian album too, but he had a Christian album where he was like cursing. You know what I mean? And like fully aware that he was cursing and like didn't care because like, yo, this is like the words I need to use to get this message out, which is, you know, dope.
Right.
Cool, man. So Heat of the Week, episode 77 in the books. You know, it was a slow week, people. We still gave you some great theories and stories. So hope you enjoyed it. Let the people know where they can comment and then get to know us some more.
Yes, sir. Catch us at audio-theory.com. Release a new episode every week. We are on all major streaming platforms. We also have our Heat of the Week selections on Spotify as well as Apple Music. So definitely tune in each week as well. And we're also trying to get some interviews on the books. We're reaching out to a couple artists right now. But if you're an artist listening, big or small, and you want to hop on and talk about your story, definitely reach out. And also as a listener, make sure you share, like, subscribe, donate, do everything you can to help support the channel. And I know we're working on merch. We just want to make sure we do it right and have the right designs and everything. So that should be dropping hopefully this summer.
Yeah, this summer, bro. We got to come correct. I mean, because we got to have a fire summer fit with like a shirt of ours, right? So we got to do that for sure. But nothing corny though. Like I don't want to just be like you know, like it just says audio theory and stuff like that. This shit has to be dope, right? So
for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool, my guy. Well, great fucking seeing you. Glad the trip was well. You got home safely. Stay safe in the neighborhood, bro. That's fucking bro. I can't even.
That shit had me shook. I'm not gonna lie.
No, dude, you were in a fucking Zoom call with the cops. Like that should not be part of your weekly fucking thing. I mean, like, and
on my work computer. I was like, this shit is serious.
Yo, dog. Oh, dude, that's like, real quick, bro. So this happened to me Friday. Oh, so dude, like 3 weeks ago, bro. Like I had a pest control guy like knock on my door, like a door-to-door salesman. I'm like, bro, like, am I about to get hustled, bro? I don't want to deal with this shit. And he was like, bro, like it's summertime. You're probably seeing a little bit of ants running around and you have a bee nest growing here. And I'm like, oh, fuck, bro, you are right. What do I need to do to get rid of this? You know what I mean? So like, I gave him my credit card. I signed up for a service. So the service was quick. They sprayed. And he's like, oh, but I'm going to come back in 3 weeks for the second part of the first service. I didn't ask any questions, bro. So long story short, now 2 weeks passed from the first service, which is past Friday. And I'm in my kitchen and I just see bugs everywhere, dog. Like everywhere, bro. Like, and I am not exaggerating, my dude.
Wait, like kind of like Lion King when he opened up the fucking the log and there was just like all these colorful bugs and shit.
Yo, in a straight line, bro. Like down my cabinets, like by my microwave, like by my sink. I'm just like, bro. So I really just saw all the bugs around my wood cabinets. So I'm like, bro, I have termites. Like, I cannot afford termites right now, dog. Like financially, physically, emotionally, I just cannot, this cannot happen right now, bro.
Right.
So I'm literally, this happened like at 1 o'clock, from 1 till 3:30 on YouTube, trying to figure out what termites look like, bro. Like,
I still don't know what these motherfuckers look like.
I'm freaking the fuck out so much that my boss calls me. Like, yo, how's it going? I'm like, bro, not well. Not well at all. So he's like, yo, just call the pest people back and tell them to come back sooner. So I'm like, good point. Because they were meant to come Wednesday. It was Friday. I'm like, they got to come at least Monday. I cannot wait 5 fucking days for this, bro.
Yeah.
So I get the lady on the phone and I am panicking, dog. She's like, sir, what's the problem? I'm like, man, like I got service done 2 weeks ago. Like what happened? Like you guys came and like, I thought you were going to kill everything. And she's like, oh, don't worry. We'll have someone come out Monday. And I'm like, no, sorry. Her exact phrase is like, oh, it worked. And I'm like, what worked? She's like, oh, sir, when we go over there the first time, we spray into all the crevices to get the ants out of your foundation.
Oh.
So that was what's happening, bro. But no one told me this. So I'm just thinking, bro,
you would think that shit would be important.
Right? Like, tell me, like, bro, like, all right, man, so I'm going to spray here. In a couple weeks, though, they're going to come out. So relax. That's when I come back. You're going to be fine. Bro, she heard the sigh in my voice and she started laughing, bro. Like, laughing. She's like, oh, my God, sir, don't worry about it. I'm so sorry. We'll get there Monday morning. Bro, I'm telling you, for 2 hours on Friday, I'm like, bro, this is going to be my weekend, bro. Just covered in ants. Just covered in fucking ants. It's going to be my weekend, bro.
I thought you were going to say it was some fucking elaborate, like, COVID scam where people were collecting bugs and then showing up to people's houses and releasing them. And then be like, oh, shit, now they want me back twice.
Dude, for a second, I thought that because when the guy first knocked on my door, he's like, you have a wasp nest there. I'm like, nigga, you fucking plant that shit, though? Like, I didn't see that before. You know what I mean?
Right?
Like, I never saw that shit before. You pointed it out. So, like, how did that out? You know, but it's all good, bro. But yeah, that was hysterical, bro, because I was taking pictures of the ants and sending it to my girl. I'm like, baby, is this a fucking termite, bro? Like, what is it? So, like, yo, Oh man, I was like, this is like the shit when you buy a house that no one tells you about. Like, bro, you gotta get a fucking pest guy, an AC guy, a water guy. I'm like, Jesus.
Right. Yeah, my mom had termites and they're fucking scary because they don't like kick it out like outside of wherever they're hiding. And like before you know it, like your house is like chewed up from the inside and could collapse because these motherfuckers just eat everything.
Once you see them, it's too late.
Mm-hmm.
So I was I'm seeing them. I'm like, oh my, I'm fucked, dog. Yeah. Like, I gotta fucking dump all my AMC stock to fucking take care of my house now. Like, you know what I mean?
Damn.
Oh man, but it's all good, bro. But yeah, that was a little fun story that happened over the weekend too. But all right, my dude, always great catching up. Everyone listening, we appreciate you. Keep listening. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and we'll be back and better than ever next week.
Yes, sir.
Peace, bro.
See you then. Love you. Peace. Love you too.